4:30 a.m., Cranji, and there's an idiot sat on the side of the road in the rain. That idiot is me. Cursing my luck because my bike chain had broke. Go back 24 hours, raining again, south of Geelong, 5:15 a.m., and there's another idiot sat on the side of the road. That idiot is me. Cursing my luck because my bike had got a puncture. Go back 2 weeks. Guess you've guessed it. There's an idiot sat on the side of the road. His bike, a bus had come together in Holland Village. Now the question you must ask yourself, and I've asked myself, and I guarantee you my wife has asked me many times, why are you getting up at such a god-awful time when you're clearly terrible at road biking? So the answer to that, I need to take you back in time a little bit. So I'm from a place called Swindon in the UK. Now, if you've never heard of Swindon, you should read a book called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night, because in it, it's described as the arse end of the universe. Now, the thing you have in the UK as well, there's a top 100 list of crap cities. Guess what? Swindon is in that crap city every single year in the top 10, and it is won more than 4 times. So please visit there. But like anywhere, and I think you probably all agree, when you grow up somewhere, it doesn't really matter how crappy it is. You have your friends and you have your family, and that's kind of all that really matters. So Swindon was kind of awesome when I was growing up. But one thing that was a little bit different that I noticed the older I got, and it's kind of why I'm here today and why I do bike every single morning. And that's because I became acutely aware as I was getting older just how much poorer my family was compared to my peers and sort of everyone around us. Now that manifests itself in so many different ways. On the day-to-day level, on the big scale stuff that you can't get involved in, to the day-to-day banal stuff that kind of stop you being part of kind of activities and going to school trips. And you notice that more as you get older. But actually, one of the most important things I also realized during this time was the importance of kindness amongst other people. The kind of acts of giving that people do every day where they don't want anything in return. And so me and my family experienced that on so many occasions as we were growing up. Pure acts of kindness where people never ever asked anything in return. So fast forward to 2020 and we're in a pandemic. And I've kind of felt a little bit those acts of kindness have disappeared. And that's not to say anyone's got worse, but we're kind of isolated. We've got in small groups, not just in Singapore, across the world. And I think we have less opportunity to kind of show giving without having anything in return. Now, for someone like myself, that really impacts me. So by the end of 2020, I had got in a rut. I was in a malaise. Basically, my job was boring, and I was doing nothing worthwhile to help anyone. So it was about December the 26th, and I was riding out to Changi with my wife. And as we normally do, we stop at Changi Village and decide we're terrible at road biking, let everyone else carry on, let's get drunk. So we're at Little Island Brewery, and I'm sure we've all done this, drinking away. And my wife says to me, you know what, Mark, I'm getting fed up with you. You can't just sit in a rut for the rest of your life. You need to do something. So why don't you bike ride for charity? Do a weekend, do a few K, you can raise some money. And I was like, this is why I love you. You're an amazing woman, and I'm going to ignore you entirely. So what I decided to do was, I want something bigger. So I read an article at the time of a guy who rode from Cairo to Cape Town, and it's 10,882 kilometers. And I was like, I can do that. 212 kilometers per week, that's easy to do. But then I was like, well, I want to do it for charity in Asia. So it's got to have an Asian slant. So I did a quick Google and realized, you know what? Singapore to Shanghai and back is exactly the same distance. So I decided that in 2021, I'm riding 10,882 kilometers for charity. So the charity I'm doing for is amazing. And they're amazing because they do what exactly I needed was when I was growing up. So they're Daughters of Tomorrow, and they provide help for women and families from poor backgrounds that basically need help to get work, employment, and help their families. And so they truly are amazing. So on January the 4th, I basically started my journey. Since then, I've seen sunrises over Changi that have absolutely amazed me. I've seen parts of Singapore that I would never ever seen before. I've crashed far more times than my wife will ever know, and please never tell her. So the one thing I was thinking of when I was thinking of sink or swim is in 2020, I was clearly treading water. So am I treading water still? And the answer is yes and no. I'm still treading water because all I'm doing is riding around and around and around and around and around Singapore. That's all I'm doing. I'm not changing the world. But I also have agency now. I have a goal, I have an aim, I have something to kind of strive towards that means something to me, that links into my background and my childhood. So in many ways, I am doing something. So I don't think I'm quite treading water anymore, and I'm definitely not an Olympic swimmer. What I am is doggy paddling forward, but for a good cause. And if that's all I'm doing this year, I think that's okay. Thank you.